Hey, welcome back, it's Kaero. Let's examine some green cards from Wilds of Eldraine and use them to win games. Almost 90% of viewers are not subscribed, so if you've watched some of my videos before and you want to help the channel, subscribing is the best way to do that. Now let's check out this turtle. This is Blossoming Tortoise. It's a 4-drop 3/3 turtle. When it enters or attacks, has you mill 3 cards and bring a land back tapped. It makes land abilities cheaper and also buffs creature lands. The first thing we can use to our advantage here is this does not say basic land. This means you can grab non-basic triomes. If you're in a multicolor deck, you can grab creature lands like Mutavault, which you can activate for free with the cost reduction. You can grab Field of Ruin to remove opponents' lands, or you can get something like Blast Zone to clear some creatures if you're in a controlling build. This turtle is really friendly to lands that have been animated, so any commander or card that makes lands into creatures is a welcome synergy. It also is a reliable way to keep your landfall triggers happening every turn, if you can keep attacking with it. Paired with something like Omnath, Locus of Creation, it's going to give you what you need to win. Next up, we have this Raccoon. This is a 2-drop 2/2 mana dork and is a potential game winner on turn 7 if you cast the Adventure, where you mill 7 cards and reanimate a giant creature, enchantment, or land from the milled cards to the battlefield. One of the biggest problems with deck building in general is you want your game enders late and you want your enablers early. Drawing your bombs on turn 2 sucks, and drawing mana dorks on turn 7 sucks. Our Raccoon friend here makes it so we don't care when we draw it, really. We're happy to have the ramp on turn 2, but also happy to draw it late and get that game-winning bomb on the field. In Commander, this could be an Eldrazi. In Standard, this could be a Titan of Industry, Itali, or Traxa if you're in multicolor control. But wait, there's more. Let's say you have a Bramble Familiar on the field and it's mid-game, say turn 4 or 5, opponent tries to remove it or wipes the board. You can activate its ability at instant speed, responding to their removal or wipe, and return it to your hand, then use its Adventure in the coming turns to turn the tide and put some value on the field. Our Raccoon friend provides value at every stage of the game, and that's a recipe for a win. Next, let's get into a fight, sort of. Double green sorcery that lets you look at your top 5, exile a creature, and cast it this turn. When you go to combat, one of your creatures deals its damage to one of theirs. Fight and bite spells have come a long way, and it's really the only form of removal mono green has, and this one sacrifices some of its versatility by not being an instant and being a sorcery instead, but provides good value from just 2 mana. Getting to select your creature is more potent than just getting a random creature on and the bite part of the card doesn't specify it has to be the creature you played with Feral Encounter. So if you already got a big monster on the field, you can use that one to bite. Pair this with creatures that have powerful enter the battlefield abilities like Elder Gargaroth, or hasty creatures like perhaps Questing Beast, and you're good to go. Green's gone wide with this one. Gruff Triplets is a 6-drop triple green for a 3/3 trample that makes 2 copies of itself when it comes in as tokens. Whenever one copy dies, you place +1/+1 counters on the other copies based on the power of the dead one. This requires some build around, but if you have a deck that buffs tokens, this is great. If you've got a deck that can blink things away and back, this is great. If you got a deck with Anthem effects where all creatures get +1/+1 or more, this is great, as that power scales because you have 3 copies. And I can't overstate the benefit this card has. When one creature dies, the others get bigger. It puts the opponent in a very tough position. When this comes down and they remove it, you've instantly got 2 6/6 trample creatures left. If they have a first strike creature to block one of them, it kills one in combat. The others become 6/6 tramplers during combat after first strike damage is dealt. This card's expensive, but it is very responsive to deck building synergies. Find a way to give these haste reliably, and it's go time. Next up is Mosswood Dread Knight. So this is technically played in Golgari or Sultai, and not just green, but I couldn't end the video without talking about this card. Golgari likes to grind the opponent into dust slowly by accruing value over time, and Dread Knight does just that. As a 2-drop 3/2 trample, it trades and is aggressive as a lot of aggro deck creatures, but the real value comes when it dies, and it trades with an opponent's creature. Cast the Adventure from your graveyard. When you do so, it's exiled from your hand to be played as a creature again, as if the Adventure was cast from hand first. This thing just keeps coming back, keeps trading with opponent's creatures or getting damage in, and draws you cards. Mosswood Dread Knight is great value for grindy Golgari decks and can be aggressive enough to just put a beating on the opponent early if it's not answered. My goal on this channel is to provide value to you. If you got that, please consider subscribing and sharing. It is the #1 way you can support me in the content I make. And if you want to see these cards in action before release day, join me for the MTG Arena Streamer event on August 31st. I hope to see you next time, and I hope you have a fantastic day.